I'm a little over 2 years in with my Rocket R58 Cinquantotto, and I have loved it over the course of the past 2 years. This machine is a $3,500 dual boiler, and we're going to talk about whether or not it's still worth it 2 years later, and whether or not you should buy one in the year 2025 or 2026 or whenever you're watching this video. I'm trying things a little bit differently here, and I actually have some guidance and direction on this review that I'm going to be reading off of my phone to kind of help me navigate through this and have a little bit more polished of a video than normal. So I want to go start off with my first impressions and the setup of this thing. So the R58 was a machine that I've wanted for a very long time. I first noticed it off of an Instagram page from this guy that absolutely loved coffee, and he bought a Rocket R58 and he got it matte white and he paired it with a Malkonig K30, and it was like the dream home setup. And it's kind of surreal when I unboxed it that I finally got to the point where I'm getting such a high-end, well-built machine. I've used many machines in the past, some smaller ones, a lot of Breville's, and then even a Rocket Apartamento and a La Spaziale, a few other ones in between, but the R58 was like the dream. It was up there in price, but it wasn't as expensive as like a Linea Mini or a Slayer. $3,500 though is not a cheap thing, and is something that really you have to think about whether or not you're going to drop that on one piece of equipment for a coffee setup. So when I first unboxed this thing, it didn't disappoint. It was hefty, it was built well, it felt like actual quality rather than a cheap espresso machine that I'm so used to. It felt like a serious coffee tool and not just some sort of a gadget or some sort of a toy. It felt like you really needed to know what you're doing because it was crafted so well in comparison to anything else that I used when it comes to coffee. This machine is a dual boiler machine, and it has a PID controller that allows you to control the brew boiler and the steam boiler independently. It also has the option to plumb it in and drain the drip tray. So I actually plumbed mine into a 5-gallon bucket pretty quickly, bought a $60 pump off Amazon and a bottled water, a 5-gallon bottled water that is mixed with third void water, and it was just pumped in from underneath the counter of my coffee bar. And then I also had it drained out from the drip tray too. So when it came to draining the drip tray and when it came to refilling the tank, I didn't really have to do much of it because I used all of that internal plumbing thing. And I got to tell you, that was beyond convenient when it comes to making the daily use easy. One of the things that I've noticed with people's complaints on it is often that drip tray fills up with water pretty quickly, and when you steam and purge the steam wand into that water, it will splash back a little bit, and that happens often with machines. But when you have a drain in the drip tray, you really don't have to worry about it. The learning curve wasn't too big of a deal for me when I got it, because I've used a lot of machines in the past, and you really just have to control that PID temperature. It's a flat 9-bar profile, which means you don't really have a lot of pressure control or flow control that you need to worry about. What you get is consistency all around, all the time, without fail, almost every single time with this machine. So there's really not much that you have to learn outside of the basics of pulling a shot and steaming and dialing your grind setting and things like that. So I want to go on the highlights on a few things. First off is I did a few customizations to it right off the bat. I swapped out the knobs to joysticks, and I wrapped it matte black just to fit in with my countertops a little bit easier, to hide a lot of that chrome. And then I put a little pad on top of it too that fits the Rocket perfectly, that allows you just to have more of a matte black look, which really just kind of leveled it up for me and got me exactly what I wanted, but also made it reversible if I wanted to take that off. And from the very beginning, the things I've noticed is it's very consistent. I know I'm going to pull a good shot every single time with this machine. That if I have my grinder right and I have my beans dialed in properly, that every single time it's going to give me good, consistent results. There's not going to be a wavering in temperature. There's not going to be anything there's not going to be issues with it. It's just going to be a reliable workhorse, and that is what it's been every single day for 2 years. I haven't had a single issue with this thing, a single time where it just didn't pull a shot the way that I wanted it to. Everything worked out great. The extraction came out great. The flavor worked out great. Everything, as long as I had my beans dialed in again, everything was stable. Everything was good. Even brewing, the brew boiler kept perfect consistency while I was steaming milk simultaneously. There was zero issues, even after multiple drinks and pulling a dozen shots back to back. I had zero issues with this machine, and it continued to do so day by day for the entire time. The steam boiler is powerful. It does take a little bit longer than I would like to steam milk, but it does it very, very well. It is insulated too, so you don't have to worry about touching that steam wand and burning yourself. It can get a little hotter than I would like, but more or less it's not gonna burn you like many other machines. You're gonna get really, really consistent steam constantly throughout that thing. When it comes to maintenance over the past 2 years, there has been very little maintenance. I should have changed the gasket in the shower screen. I have it sitting there. I just haven't got around to it. And I've just like kind of lubed up some of the different parts in the group head a little bit, which really only took about 15 minutes or so. And other than that, like zero issues, no concerns whatsoever. I did notice that when it came to taking it apart, it wasn't too bad, but all the screws were on the inside of the machine, and it kind of made it hard to get with a screwdriver to take off those side panels. And the reason I know this is because I did take off all the panels in order to wrap it matte black, and that was more of a process than I expected when it came to this machine. However, when it does come to maintenance, all of this stuff for this machine is going to be very, very easy to get. You can buy parts for an E61 group head very, very easily. They're everywhere. So 2 years, very little maintenance. You should back flush it. You should descale all that stuff in order to have a good machine that lasts a long time. A couple things I don't like about the machine is there isn't very much control on it. I did add the flow control paddle on the top, and that doesn't do as much as I would have hoped it to do. I think part of this was jumping from a flare where I had all the control over pressure and flow as much as I wanted, and it would allow me to experience a little bit more. This is like, you want consistency, it's gonna pump out shot 9 bar every single time perfectly. But when it comes to the ability to kind of go with all the trends of espresso, you don't really have as much options with this. It is a very large machine. It's very heavy, so if you have to move it, it's kind of a pain in the butt. However, it does feel like good quality because it is good quality when it's there. The PID controller is also one of my concerns. It's plasticky. It feels not great. It's nice to have it on the machine because it gives you the control on the side of it, but it does stick out more than I would like it to for that machine, and I wish it was nicer, I wish it was integrated better, and I just frankly wish it wasn't like on the side of the machine the way that it is. I wish it would steam a little bit quicker. I feel like for $3,500 I should be able to steam very, very fast with it, something like the Linea Mini. My decent espresso machine actually steams a little bit faster than this, and this is where the kicker is. It is very, very, very expensive at $3,500. I think it actually is worth it. I think when it comes to the quality of it, I went to a store and tested out the Elite Bianca side by side with this to compare it, and the shots were similar, but the build quality and the Rocket over the Elite Bianca is drastically, drastically different, and the Rocket is substantially better in build quality than the Elite Bianca, in my opinion. So after 2 years, I can say it's one of the best machines I've owned, and it's a good machine for people who are very, very serious in espresso. It's going to give you, it's quiet. It's going to give you incredible shot quality. It's going to give you great reliability. It feels really, really premium. It feels great when every single time you're pulling a shot. It feels like you're doing it with quality equipment, and that's something that you can't really get with the lower one. So if you were buying one today, and if you're in the market to spend a lot of money today, my question is two things. What do you hope to achieve with that? And is it worth the money for that achievement? So when it comes to getting quality espresso, you don't need to spend $3,500 on a machine for that. If you want reliability and you want just this beautiful piece of artwork that is very, very good consistency and very, very good all around with very little complaints, and you're willing to service it here and there and maintain it, which isn't too much work, but it is important, and you're going to use good water and you have a good grinder, then it might be worth it. But for me, having a machine that was $3,500 on my counter was just, it wasn't giving me everything that I wanted. In the sense, I couldn't control. I just want a good machine that gives me some control, but not an over amount of control. I'm like super nitpicky. It's super hard for me to figure out what I want, but I've kind of decided to let go of my Rocket R58. And I think the thing I'm concerned about is if I am going to miss it. And the reason I say that is because it is incredibly consistent. It's quiet. It's pumped into a water bucket and it's drained into a water bucket as well. And it just, the quality of it just feels so, so good when using it. However, I just found with the price that it is and the quality of shots I can get out of another machine, I decided to actually let this machine go. And I sold it to a local roaster called Sodality in Omaha. I'll put a link to their website where you can order some coffee if you want to try them out. But they're going to use this as kind of a way to test some of their beans, and is, I think, going to suit them well. It's going to give them great consistency when pulling shots, and I think they have a Gaggia Classic now, so I think it's going to be quite a bit of an upgrade for them, and I think they're really, really going to enjoy it. But I do think there's going to be a lot of times where I'm going to miss just the consistency, and not so much the consistency, but so much the experience of using it. When you get something like this, it's like driving a luxurious car where it just feels nice to use. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like poor craftsmanship or anything. Like, it just feels quality all around. And that is something that you really, really do get with this Rocket R58. And that's why I honestly think a lot of people overlook purchasing this machine when it comes to a lot of the other ones with features. Sometimes you just want consistency. I think it looks a lot better than the Lydia Mini 2 personally. So that's why I kind of went with the Rocket, to save a couple $1,000s over that. But overall, I'm happy with the machine, but I decided I'm purging as much coffee equipment as possible. We're going to try to use that money for other things in our family, and this is one of the things I figured it was time for me to let go and move on to some other pieces of equipment, which is going to make this whole YouTube channel quite a bit interesting, because I'm going to have less of space to put all my coffee equipment, which means I have to love it a lot, and I have to think it's well worth its price in order for me to keep. And when I can get a good quality shots of espresso off of machines way, way cheaper, maybe even a fourth of the cost or a third of the cost or whatever the price is, I figured it's better to save some money and have a machine that pulls just as good as shots, even if it doesn't feel as luxurious and as polished and as well built as the Rocket does. So that's why I let it go. Would love to hear your thoughts on the Rocket. Would love to answer any questions you have in purchasing one, or would love to hear your feedback in whether or not you want to buy one. If you could please like and subscribe, that would help me out a ton as a content creator and help this channel continue to go forward, where it can help fund my time of putting in effort toward these videos, but also fund different equipment for me to test and give you my opinion on. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching.